Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. As Indo-Tibetan Border Police celebrates its 63rd Raising Day on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended greetings to ITBP, Himveers and their families. Taking to microblogging site X, PM Modi hailed the ITBP as a symbol of valor and dedication and also lauded their efforts during natural disasters and rescue operations. India's Home Minister and many other leaders also extended their greetings on ITBP Raising Day. As per UNESCO's report, India's expenditure on education is higher than countries like China and Japan. India earmarked about 4.1 to 4.6% of its GDP between 2015 and 2024 to boost education in the country. The report mentions that India has been investing more in education in terms of both gross domestic product percentage and government expenditure compared with other Central and Southern Asian countries. India's Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister, today approved the setting up of Rs 1,000 crore venture capital fund for promoting startups in the space sector. The Cabinet also approved 2 railway projects with an estimated cost of Rs 6,798 crore that will be completed in 5 years. The move aims to provide connectivity, facilitate ease of travelling, minimize logistic cost and lower carbon dioxide emissions. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday said broad consensus has been achieved between India and China to restore the ground situation based on the principles of equal and mutual security. Speaking after inaugurating the second Chanakya Defence Dialogue in New Delhi, Minister added that India and China have been involved in talks both at the diplomatic and military levels. Mormugao Port Authority is recognized globally as an incentive provider on the Environmental Ship Index platform. The port's incentive program Harit Shrey was launched in October 2023 that offered discounts on port changes under ESI program and more. United Nations Day is being observed today. The day commemorates the official establishment of the UN that plays a vital role in international diplomacy, humanitarian efforts and global development. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar reiterated India's commitment to the UN. India is one of the founding members of the UN. Fire department officials have started the restoration work at the site of the collapsed building at Huramuvu Agra area of Bengaluru that claimed 8 lives. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the loss of lives in Bengaluru. PM also announced an ex gratia of Rs 2 lakh from PM National Relief Fund for the next of kin of each deceased and Rs 50,000 to the injured. People across the globe are observing World Polio Day on October 24th, a day that serves as an important reminder of the global efforts to eradicate polio. Community Radio Conference for Western State is being organized by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting at Jaipur. Theme is celebrating 20 years of community radio in India. Addressing the Golden Jubilee celebration of Indo-German Science and Technology Cooperation, Union Minister of State for Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh said that the cooperation between the two countries in the field of science and technology will further strengthen the bilateral relationship. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will be visiting India at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday. He, along with PM Modi, will co-chair the 7th Intergovernmental Consultations on October 25th. At close, the Sensex declined 16.82 points to settle at 80,065.16. Nifty fell 36.10 points to close at 24,399.4. Gold futures maturing on December 5 stood at Rs 78,343 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity index. Silver futures maturing on December 5 stood at Rs 98,154 per kg on the MCX. Indian rupee remained unchanged to close at 84.07 against the US dollar. Boeing factory workers voted to reject a contract offer and continue a more than 5-week strike in a blow to investor and management hopes of a resolution to the dispute. The vote was 64% in opposition to the deal, which offered a 35% rise in wages over 4 years. Union leaders said they were ready to immediately resume negotiations with Boeing. Tesla CEO Elon Musk declared plans to launch driverless ride-hailing services in California and Texas by next year. Japanese conglomerate 7&I Holdings plan to hive off underperforming businesses and expand overseas as it battles to win over critics and remain independent. 7&I Holdings laid out a growth plan on Thursday that focused on its core 7-Eleven convenience stores and avoided any mention of a $47 billion takeover bid from Canada's alimentation couche-tard. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today reiterated Prime Minister Narendra Modi's "not an era of war" remark, saying the agreements between countries must be respected. Representing PM Modi at the BRICS outreach session in Russia's Kazan, Dr. Jaishankar also stressed that disputes must be settled through dialogue. On the sidelines of the BRICS summit, External Affairs Minister interacted with students in Russia's Kazan. Minister talked about PM's announcement of opening a new consulate in the city. Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet UN Chief Antonio Guterres for the first time in over 2 years on the sidelines of the last day of the 3-day 16th BRICS meeting. According to Kremlin, the leaders are expected to discuss the conflict in Ukraine as well as the escalating crisis in West Asia. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said India will retain restrictions on investments from nations with which it shares land borders. Speaking at the Wharton Business Schools in the US on Tuesday, Sitharaman said that India needs some safeguards along with business that is located in a neighborhood that is very sensitive. During the panel discussion organized by the Center for Global Development in Washington, D.C., Minister asserted that 1 in every 6 people in the world is an Indian and that the country, whether the US or China, can't ignore New Delhi today. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is in Washington, D.C. to attend meetings related to the World Bank and the IMF. She interacted with the members of Bank One Staff India Club working in World Bank and IMF. Minister's engagement emphasized the strong presence of the Indian community within global financial institutions. An aid conference for Lebanon opened in Paris on Thursday in hope of raising hundreds of millions of dollars, with host France also targeting diplomatic progress for the conflict-ravaged country. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken did not attend the conference, meanwhile reiterating his call for a ceasefire in Lebanon. French President Emmanuel Macron said that France would provide 100 million euros to Lebanon. Israel struck Beirut's southern suburbs on Wednesday. The strike eliminated dozens of Hezbollah targets. Hezbollah attacked Israel for the first time with dozens of rockets fired on Thursday at Israeli targets. North Korea has sent troops to Russia, which was confirmed by US officials on Wednesday. US said that North Korea has sent about 3,000 soldiers who are being trained before being deployed to battlefields in Ukraine. Reacting on this, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said on Thursday that Seoul will not sit idle over Pyongyang's deployment of troops in Russia. South Korean Daily reported the balloon carried anti-South leaflets mocking President Yoon and his wife Kim Kyon-hee. Former President and Republican candidate Donald Trump leads his Democratic rival Kamala Harris 47% to 45% in the latest poll by Wall Street Journal. At least 5 people have been killed and 22 injured after an attack at a state-owned aerospace company near the Turkish capital Ankara. Both the attackers have been neutralized. Canada's Liberal Party MPs have given Prime Minister Trudeau an ultimatum to either make up his mind or step down as Liberal leader by October 28 over his handling of internal and external affairs of the country has made things difficult for him as PM. Alright, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Who will be the next president of United States of America?
Will Donald Trump make a dramatic comeback, or will Kamala Harris become America's first woman president?
It's a tight race to the White House.
The knives are out and the battle lines sharply drawn.
He's becoming increasingly unstable and unhinged.
She's a threat to democracy because she shouldn't even be the candidate.
I'm Amritpal Singh.
I'm Shubhendu Ghosh.
We travel across the United States
To decode the issues at the heart of this polarized election.
Watch this space only on DD India.
Recycle, repair, renew. Are these cool trending terms or age-old traditions?
We started distributing the compost. The residents were really happy. It also made them understand the need for waste management, why segregation was important, because it was happening right in front of their houses.
Over the past years, we also expanded into the area of repair, and that obviously has an additional impact on saving e-waste, and that's an additional area where we see quite some potential.
The panels contain a lot of rare commodities, and you can save a lot of energy if you use recycled materials. It's also extremely important to keep those recycled materials here in Germany.
Biotanks, the sewage water gets recycled. It can be used for different purposes or drained into the ground.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. People living in riverside communities in Bangkok are being advised to brace for flooding caused by a combination of river overflows and high tides. The flooding in Thailand is due to release of increased volume of water in dams, and this will cause the water level in the Pong Peng Canal in Bangkok. A dust tornado-like storm was caught on camera near a road in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. The column of dust towered over some vehicles and people who were travelling along the road. Bolts of lightning could also be seen striking the ground. Authorities in India's eastern Odisha state evacuated thousands from low-lying areas as heavy rain, strong cyclonic winds hurled the coastal districts ahead of Cyclone Dana's landfall. Cyclone Dana, currently over the Bay of Bengal, is expected to cross the coast of the states between midnight and Friday morning with wind speeds of 100 to 110 km per hour. The chestnut harvest in Greece, one of the world's largest producers, is expected to drop to 15,000 tons in 2024 because of the extreme weather, half the 10-year average. The drop comes after Greece's warmest winter and summer on record and is the latest sign of the impact of climate change on crops across southern Europe. Tropical storm Trami has killed at least 26 people and forced more than 150,000 to flee their homes in the Philippines as it made landfall on the northeastern coast. Tropical storm Trami dumped heavy to torrential rain on the main island of Philippines, triggered widespread flooding and landslides. The Thailand government is considering the launch of a new program to promote tourism in the northern region and to boost the local economy after recent flooding. The Thailand government launched a digital wallet scheme. The first phase of the digital wallet scheme has about 14 million disabled people and state welfare card holders. Britain's King Charles toured a mangrove reserve in Moata, Samoa. Moata's mangrove reserve highlights restoration efforts and the impact of climate change on the ecosystem and community. Charles is in Samoa ahead of Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting where the leaders are expected to make a declaration on protecting the ocean, with climate change a key topic for discussion. Aiming to break down beauty stereotypes, a group of young students from London have designed what they hope will become the first ever emojis of black and mixed race hairstyles. This project from London students aims to tackle texturism, a form of discrimination where afro hair is often perceived as unprofessional, unattractive or unclean. A rare typescript of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's The Little Prince, a literary treasure, will go on sale for $1.25 million. The novella about the little prince who travelled from planet to planet gaining wisdom was published at the height of World War II when Saint-Exupéry fought for the Allies in the French Air Force. European scientists have developed an artificial intelligence algorithm capable of interpreting pig sounds, aiming to create a tool that can help farmers improve animal welfare. The State Railway of Thailand operated a special steam train service King Chulalongkorn Day to commemorate the reign of King Chulalongkorn, who is renowned for introducing railways to Thailand. The historic train journey of Thailand took passengers from Bangkok to Ayutthaya, allowing them to experience a nostalgic trip aboard a vintage steam locomotive. The world's largest statue of philosopher Confucius stands tall on Nishan of Khufu City, China. Philosopher Confucius has influenced Chinese culture and across East Asia for more than 2,500 years. At the performance of Golden Chime and Jade Vibration, tradition meets innovation with the combination of modern stagecraft and technology to reimagine the Chinese artistic traditions of poetry, music and dance. Thailand's army has dispatched a team of Muay Thai trainers of Hawaii's Shorefield Barracks as part of a military soft power initiative. The Thailand's army training program aims to teach traditional Thai boxing techniques to US military personnel, marking a significant cultural exchange between the allied forces. Quince bathing service begins in Japan's Hokuto City. A hot spring facility in Japan is offering a warm bath filled with quince fruits, a local specialty. Cultivation of the quince fruit began in Japan more than 30 years ago. The quince is native to Central Asia and a sweet aroma. Vietnam's fresh coconuts are making their mark in 15 international markets with annual exports totaling 30,000 tons. Vietnamese coconuts are poised for significant export growth due to their quality, long shelf life and abundant supply. Vietnam's fruit and vegetable export turnover reached nearly $6.2 billion. Paul McCartney dazzled Argentine fans with a captivating performance at Mario Alberto Campos Stadium in Cordoba. The legendary Beatles icon opened the show with the classic hit Can't Buy Me Love, sending waves of excitement through the crowd of devoted fans. Houston's 1994 historic Durban, South Africa concert will be screened in nearly 900 cinemas in more than 25 countries on October 23rd and 27th. In 1994, Houston became one of the first major Western recording artists to perform in the newly unified post-apartheid South Africa following President Nelson Mandela's historic election win. Actor Tom Hardy said his time is up as the Marvel anti-hero Venom as he walked the red carpet for the London premiere of new film Venom: The Last Dance. American actor and stand-up comedian Ken Jeong receives his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Fans got me to where I am in this position, says Jeong. Actors and executive producers Eddie Redmayne and Lashana Lynch led the cast and crew on the red carpet for the London premiere of thrilling series The Day of the Jackal. The Day of the Jackal show is a television adaptation of author Frederick Fawcett, highly acclaimed 1971 novel of the same name. Indian actor Shah Rukh Khan's debut Hindi show Fauji is re-airing on Doordarshan from October 24th onwards. This comes after filmmaker Sandeep Singh, in collaboration with national broadcaster Doordarshan, began shoot of Fauji 2, which is rebooted version of Fauji series. India's Washington Sundar claimed a career best 7-wicket haul. Alright, this was about Fauji 2, rebooted version of Fauji series to hit the TV screens soon, and this is about India versus New Zealand opening day at Pune. India were 16 for 1 after the end of day 1. India's veteran bowler Ravichandran Ashwin has become the highest wicket taker in the ICC World Test Championship during the second day against New Zealand. Fast bowler Kagiso Rabada took 6 wickets in the second innings as South Africa won the first test against Bangladesh by 7 wickets. Zimbabwe set a new T20I world record with a staggering total of 344 in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Sub-Regional Africa qualifier against Gambia. Indian men's hockey team thumped Germany 5-3 in the second match to level the 2-match series in New Delhi. Barcelona captain Rafinha scored a hat-trick to lead them to a commanding 4-1 home victory over Bayern Munich in the Champions League. In another Champions League game, Manchester City thumped Sparta Prague 5-0 at the Etihad Stadium. India suffered a 3-1 defeat against Bangladesh in their second Group A match of South Asian Football Federation Women's Championship in Kathmandu. Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the Paris Masters, where he is 7-time champion, in a move which could potentially signal the end of his roller coaster season. In Pro Kabaddi League, U Mumbai registered their first win of the season by beating Gujarat Giants 33-27. Alright, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.